everyone, this is Selena. If you're new here, I'm the co-founder of bubblelab, and we are building an agentic workflow platform that lets you generate workflows with both a visual builder and TypeScript code editor side by side. And in today's demo, I want to show you guys how fast and powerful it is to build a Reddit outreach agentic workflow in just minutes using bubblelab. So the bubbles used today will be the Reddit bubble, Google Sheets bubble, and an AI agent bubble. One subreddit that my co-founder and I have been deep in the weeds with is the subreddit n8n. You know, a lot of our early target users for bubblelab are people who have used n8n before and are frustrated with certain aspects of the platform. So we've been doing a lot of outreach, but with the sheer volume of posts, it gets pretty impossible for us to do this manually. Let's put bubblelab to the test today to help us build something useful. So I have just loaded up bubblelab's IDE here, and let's just get started with the prompt. So I want to be pretty detailed this time. So let's say, help me scrape the n8n subreddit to find people who are frustrated with n8n and might be interested in the product that we are building, bubblelab. And I will also just put in our landing page. I want you to find 10 people who seem frustrated. One thing that's really important is that we want to be able to keep track of who we need to outreach to. Let's connect it to our Google Sheets and our Google Drive, and let's say, and for each person, give me their Reddit username, a direct link to their post where they're complaining, and a personalized and empathetic message I can send them. Put all this info into a Google Sheet. I also want to make sure that I can be able to run this workflow multiple times. So one thing that I want to make sure that it's doing is make sure you don't add the same person twice if I run this multiple times. Let's see what this generates us. So we can see the live output here, and while this builds, I just want to quickly explain why bubblelab is different. If you tried to build this exact same flow on n8n, you'd spend a lot of hours just dragging and manually configuring nodes, and you really have to understand exactly how the data flows from one node to the next, and there will be a lot of debugging that comes with weird black box errors. So with bubblelab, we built every single bubble to be TypeScript from the ground up, and what that means is we're able to combine the best parts of still having a visual builder workflow with the flexibility of real production ready code. So there's no vendor lock-in, no hidden JSON black boxes, and just clean debuggable workflows that you own, you can extend and run anywhere. Because it is rebuilt from the ground up to be AI native, that also means we can be able to prompt in natural language like what I just did there, and the agent orchestration will be able to happen very naturally and build the exact workflow that you want. All right, so this just finished, so that's perfect timing. Let's go and see what happens. So let's see why there's 4. So we can see in this flow that there's actually Google Sheets as the first step, and its existing data result because I asked it to check to make sure that it's not there before. Then it goes into the Reddit scrape tool, the AI agent, and then back to appending it back into Google Sheets. But let's go into the code editor and see the exact logic that's going on behind the scenes. So we can see the code being generated, we can see comments, so it's really easy for us to understand what's going on. So as I suspected, the first bubble was to make sure that they're reading the existing data from the Google Sheet to check for duplicates. The next bubble is the Reddit scrape tool, which we have built a specialized bubble for, and it's able to go in and identify the subreddit n8n. And here's a really smart part. This is all part of the third bubble, which is the AI agent bubble. We can see that it's using the analysis message, which is defined right here. So it's helping us identify the frustrated users who could be ideal candidates for a new product. And we can see that it's also being asked to perform the following actions to actually parse the data so that we can head into the fourth bubble, which is right here at the end. And it is actually appending the values into the Google Sheets. So that is perfect. And I just want to show you guys the power of having everything in this code editor, which makes every step first super transparent, but also because there's strong typing, it's able to catch errors instantly. So for example, let's say in this final Google Sheets bubble, if there was a mistake during this construction process where instead of append values, it said like add values, it would be underlined immediately here. And if you try to validate this code now, it will tell you that it didn't work, and it will tell you that it is not assignable, and it will point you to line 200 so that you know exactly where the error is going instead of everything being very black box. If you hover over it, you'll also see the same thing. We can change it back to append values. And so we really try to make it, there's no mystery errors that just pop out. We made it a top priority that traceability and debugging are built in, not an afterthought. All right, let's build this. I'm actually gonna go in and delete my existing connection so I can show you guys how easy it is to set up credentials. So let's try to run code, and you will see that for this flow, we need a Google Sheets credential firecrawl, which I've previously set up. So look at my previous video to see how we can set that up really easy using firecrawl. And yeah, so we just need Google Sheets. So I will show you guys how easy it is to generate new credentials in Bubble Lab. So if we just navigate to the credentials tab in the Bubble Lab IDE, we can add the credential, and we are missing Google Sheets, so let's add that. I'm gonna name this Bubble Lab Sheets. And let's just connect with OAuth, and this will pop up an OAuth that you can just connect to your account, and that should be done. Yep, and once you do that, you will be able to see that being populated in the credentials tab. So perfect, we can go back here now. As soon as you add the credential, we make sure that it's auto-populated, and you can just continue. Right before it executes, it just gives you a quick flow summary of what we have asked it to do. So here is the input parameters. So you can see that it's handling everything for us. The only thing that we need to give it is the spreadsheet ID. And the spreadsheet ID for Google Sheets is extremely easy to find. I have just created a blank new spreadsheet here, and I will just name this Reddit Outreach Bubble Lab. In order to get the spreadsheet ID, it is just in the URL, so everything after the /d and before like all this other stuff. So I can just copy this in, and that is a spreadsheet ID, and it'll know to append and also look for the things in that spreadsheet specifically. So let's execute the flow, and now we can just watch the magic happen. So I will just make the screen a bit smaller and put the Reddit Outreach side by side so you can see exactly what's going on. And you'll see here that it is running in real time. And there we go. So it successfully added 10 new contacts to the Google Sheets with headers. And we can see that right here. Let me just wrap this so we can see this a little bit better. Okay. Yep, so we can see that it gave us 10 contacts. So it gave us 10 links to 10 separate complaints of n8n in the subreddit n8n. It gave us the name, the link, the status, and also the message. A personalized outreach that I could send it directly to them, but let's just make sure that everything is going properly. So, okay, there is this link. Let's just make sure. So is this by Curious Reporter? Yep, it is. And so in the message, the AI agent in Bubble Lab drafted that I saw your post about finding a less technical hosting service for n8n, and it's about server setup and infrastructure. Let's see if that's what they were actually complaining about. And yep, it is exactly what they were complaining about. So this is someone that I can just immediately text right now and let them know about Bubble Lab. There's also this other person, let's see. Real talk, automations are fun by Kindly Bed until your workflow looks like spaghetti and nothing works. Good luck debugging at 2 a.m. So this is definitely someone I want to reach out to, and let's see the message that Bubble Lab agent did for us. I really resonated with your post about n8n, sometimes feeling like it eats your brain and it doesn't follow strict rules to avoid spaghetti workflows and debugging headaches, blah, 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 blah. Bubble Lab is built to be significantly more intuitive and powerful, helping those with Frankenstein monster. So you get what I'm saying. We're able to just automate this flow very, very quickly in just minutes and be able to build this agent that runs for us very, very smoothly. So let's move this back, and I will show you guys the power of the first bubble earlier of why I wanted to make sure that it had this bubble where it is checking for existing, because now I can just rerun the flow again. And you will see momentarily that it will append 10 more onto this already existing spreadsheet. But because we have the first workflow, none of them will be duplicated with who we've already reached out to. Okay, so it just appended, so we can see that it filled out rows from 12 to 21. Just make sure that There are no duplicates in the name, which is true, and it just gave me 10 more people to reach out to with personalized outreaches. So this is just so awesome for me. I'm gonna be using it a lot. So in a couple of minutes, we were able to build out a really powerful Reddit outreach agent that I can run continuously, and how easy I can just change all these parameters and all these instructions is just extremely powerful. And this is just the very early stages of Bubble Lab. So if you want to try Bubble Lab for yourself and be part of the future of how we envision agentic workflows to be, join our waitlist today at Bubble Lab and keep your eyes peeled for more demo videos like this, which will be rolling out a lot. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.